So students, in the previous session, we have completed the discussion of water pollution and its control. We have also studied about the case studies of water pollution control, like foam we have considered and ecosan we have talked about, right? And in today's session, we are going to take up one more type of waste and its management, that is solid waste and its management. You know, solid waste means what? It can be any waste that can be found in the dustbins. Maybe in the office, maybe at home, maybe in the schools, maybe in the colleges, right? So anywhere if you find, so that is that waste. Maybe the paper waste, maybe the plastic waste, right? Maybe the fiber, maybe the food material if that can be decomposed, okay? But that comes under solid waste, right? So maybe the metal waste. So any type of waste that we see here is nothing but solid waste. So what can be done in order to get rid of the solid waste? How best we can implement the what can be the best ways to get rid of the solid waste, and what can be the best ways of disposal of the solid waste is what is something we need to understand here. Solid waste refers to everything that goes out in the trash. Whatever it goes to the dustbin is nothing but the solid waste. See, the municipal solid waste, it is called municipal solid waste because the municipality is the one which actually takes up the responsibility to clear off the solid waste from any town, any city, alright? So, and it generally comprises of what? Paper, food waste, plastics, glass, metals, rubber, leather, textiles, etc., etc. Right? All this will comprise the solid waste. It's a very general concept that you already know, right? Now, see, you may think that yes, burning definitely reduces the amount of the waste that is generated. We can burn, at least if not plastic, we can burn the paper, we can burn the burnable material, the cloths to some extent, right? So, burning actually reduces, but it will also cause one more type of pollution, that is air pollution. This is one problem. The second problem is that if it is unburnt or if it is half burnt, then again it's going to create one more problem. So that will become half burnt or unburnt waste once again. In order to get rid of this, what are we doing is, sanitary landfills is one temporary solution that we have found for this one. Of course, sanitary landfills means this is not the permanent solution to the waste disposal of solid waste, but it can be a temporary solution for the solid waste disposal, especially in the bigger cities and towns. So what is sanitary landfills? You notice cities are so there will be a big dumping yard. So if you go to Mangalore, there is a place called Vamanjur. Vamanjur is a place where if you go there, you have to close your nose and go because of the bad smell that you get in the entire area, and that bad smell is only because of what? The sanitary landfills located in that area. Right? So, huge area is taken and the land surface in that area will be dug, and there will be the big pits will be made within which every day the waste is dumped. All the waste, the solid waste that is brought from the cities will be dumped in that particular pits. And I told you this is not a permanent solution because one day, definitely very soon, those sanitary fields are going to fill up. And again you have to find a new place, and if we go on doing like this, the entire city will be full of the garbage or the waste. And that is what has happened last year in Bangalore. There was no place at all to dispose the solid waste, and that is how actually Bangalore was one of the cleanest cities 10 years ago, but now today it has become one of the dirtiest cities. It is because of the same reason. In sanitary landfills, wastes are dumped in a depression or trench after compaction and covered with dirt every day. So every day we are going to compact them, we are going to fill them in sacks, and we are going to compress them, and we are going to dump it there. And so definitely it will be covered every day with dirt, and it's going to fill very soon. But all waste that we generate, what is the solution for this? When we consider landfills are not the final destination or final solution for disposal of the solid waste, what can be done? One simple thing that all of us can follow, and all of us have to implement this today itself, is nothing but whatever the waste that we generate, solid waste, has to be categorized into three types. such as biodegradable, recyclable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable anta helidre the waste that can be decomposed. That means the organic waste material, maybe the waste food products, right? Recyclable means the glass material, maybe the leather materials, or maybe the plastic materials. So if that is recyclable, that has to be put in a separate trash bag. And non-biodegradable, so non-biodegradable means again the plastic can come. If the plastic is not recyclable, if that material of the plastic is not so good quality, if it is unfit for recycling, then it can be put into this trash bag called non-biodegradable, means which cannot be decomposed. So by making them separate like this, what can be done is at least recyclable waste na ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So this amount of the waste that was generated is once again recycled and we are making good useful products out of it. And biodegradable waste, we are letting it to decompose, and huge amount of that waste is also reduced, and decomposed waste na ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು agricultural fields ಅಲ್ಲಿ manure ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. And now what we have got, we are only left out with the non-biodegradable waste, and again some part of it can be burnt completely, right? So and only a portion of this can be taken to the sanitary landfills. So this can be one remedy, and this is the only remedy for now for all of us. And that is why they keep educating people, the municipalities, the corporations, they keep educating people regarding the importance of separation of the waste that we generate. So you people, we who we know actually about all these things, we need to enforce, we need to bring it to the notice of the people, the authorities, and also in our homes we need to practice these things, right? Moving forward, see the kabadi walas, that means the rag pickers, ಕಸ ಇದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನ, ರೀಸೈಕ್ಲೇಬಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಅಥವಾ ದೇ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್, ದೇ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇಟ್. They are doing a great job and they are actually helping us to separate the different types of waste materials there, right? So the biodegradable materials can be put into deep pits under the ground and can be left for natural breakdown, decompose ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಾನು. That leaves only the non-biodegradable waste to be handled for disposal, right? So state governments across the country are trying to push for reduction in the use of plastics use. So this is also one of the serious problems. Plastic sacks and plastic bags ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಈಗ, ತುಂಬ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, but it has to still reduce. So what do we need to do is we have to start using the cloth bags. We have to carry our own bag from home, or at least if you are not carrying the bag from home, you need to pay some extra money, some amount of money, few rupees, maybe 2 or 5 rupees to get one cloth bag. So by making so, we can significantly reduce the usage of the plastics. And usage ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಲ್ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ we have to reduce the usage of the plastic. And see, plastic is everywhere today, right from food material, from vehicles, everywhere the plastic is there. Definitely we cannot stop the usage of the plastic, but at least at the lower levels, like making use of the bags to carry things from shops, we can actually get rid of that, right? So case study for remedy of plastic waste. So once again we need to look into this case study. So this is a very interesting case study that we are making it here. See, it happened in Bangalore. A person called Ahmad Khan, who was 57 years old then. So his age was 57 years when the textbook was printed for the first time. Now he might be 20 plus years, maybe he's 77 near to 80. I don't know whether he's there or no more, I don't know, right? So he was actually producing for 20 years. He had a business or a factory of production of plastic covers, plastic sacks, bags ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು, ರೈಟ್? ನಾವು ಅಬೌಟ್ 8 years ago, ಅಂದರೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆದಾಗಿನಿಂದ 8 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ, he started a plastic waste management system. He found a real problem in order to get rid of the plastic waste that is being generated. So he's actually producing the plastic. He thought that it is also his responsibility to find a solution to get rid of the plastic waste that is being generated. By making use of the plastic sacks I am producing. So he thought. So what did he do was he produced polyblend. So the waste plastic sacks in it, which were not fit for recycling. So but he took those plastic sacks, he dried them and he crushed them and made very fine powder, and that was called as polyblend. Polythene bags do fine powder ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ and that was called as polyblend. Okay, so recycled and modified plastic, it is a fine powder of recycled and modified plastic. Okay, it's already recycled, it cannot be recycled anymore. So it was developed then by his company. This mixture was mixed with, the polyblend was mixed with one more chemical compound called bitumen. One more chemical compound called bitumen. See, bitumen. This bitumen, the bitumen actually will act as the water repellent. Or ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, polyblend ಮತ್ತು bitumen ಅನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಿ they form a mixture, and this was used in making the tar roads, ಡಾಂಬರ್ ರಸ್ತೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So it was actually mixed with the tar, and this actually increased the quality of the roads that were made in Bangalore. Today all roads present in Bangalore are being made by using this method, that is by making use of the polyblend and the bitumen. Bitumen's water repellent properties, and they actually help to increase the life of the road. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ರೋಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೋಡ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೋಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ increased, for that is the durability of the road can be increased, right? So Ahmed Khan, in collaboration with RV College of Engineering and Bangalore City Corporation, he proved that plastic waste can be in the form of polyblend, can be successfully and effectively utilized in making the roads, right? So the raw material that he used only was polyblend of any plastic waste, plastic film waste. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, the demand for the plastic waste also got increased against the price of 40 paise per kg. 40 paise per kg ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರು rag pickers ನಿಂದ, but now they were getting how much? 6 rupees. It was not even 1 rupee, it was only 40 paise, right? So but now it has been 6 rupees per kg. The demand got increased because the polyblend was put in force in making the roads. So using Khan's technique, by the year 2002, more than 40 kilometers of the road were made in Bangalore with this technology. But today almost all the roads are are made by this particular technology in Bangalore. So you can look at the photo. See, this is Ahmed Khan. He's Rasool Khan. Both of these are brothers who are running the company. They own a company of the plastic production, plastic sack production, and their own company is actually making what? The plastic waste management by producing the polyblend in collaboration with RV College of Engineering in Bangalore and the Bangalore City Corporation, right? So he's Ahmed Khan and he's Rasool Khan, his brother. Both of them actually they achieved it. So you can see the roads being laid by making use of the plastic waste here. So this in Bangalore. Now agrochemicals and their effects. See, this is also one of the serious problems, because see, whenever we have already studied in the water pollution about the biomagnification, whatever the chemical fertilizers used in the agricultural fields, they can cause serious problems if they run off and they join with the water bodies, right? Now pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, etc. are being increasingly used, and these chemicals can be harmful and they can be magnified, that is biomagnified from one trophic level to another trophic level, and they are going to harmfully affect the different organisms, aquatic organisms, or maybe different birds or fishes, right? So by disturbing their metabolic activities. So we know that the addition of increasing amounts of artificial fertilizers can do to our aquatic system. So definitely it's going to cause a huge loss to the aquatic ecosystem. That is what has been explained here. But the only solution for this is integrated farming. What is this integrated farming? So this is also a very interesting concept. It's a cyclical zero waste procedure where waste products from one process are cycled in as nutrients for other process. Like for example, if you have a dairy, if you are rearing the cattle to produce, definitely that will yield milk and milk products, right? But the waste produced during this dairy, that is the dung of these cows, can be actually made use as the fertilizers for the agricultural field, or it can also be used for making the very hygienic and highly nutritious organic manure with the help of the earthworm. The rearing of the earthworm can be done. So that means waste from one process can be made use, can be cycled to support another process in the agriculture, and this kind of agricultural practices is what is called as organic farming, right? So case study on organic farming, we have got a farmer in Sonipat in Haryana, Ramesh Chandra Dagar. He is successfully practicing this organic farming, which includes beekeeping, dairy management, rainwater harvesting, composting and agriculture in a chain of processes which support each other and allow an extremely economical and sustainable venture. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಲೈಕ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫಿಶರಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಪಾಂಡ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಶರಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಫಿಶ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ದ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದೇರ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ rain can be used for this purpose. So this water, which is nutrient rich, organic nutrient rich, can be utilized in the agricultural fields. So that will give you a very good yield in the agricultural lands, right? Once again, after taking out the yield, so whatever the debris or whatever the leaves that are left over, that can be used as the food for the cattle. The cattle dung, once again it can be used to prepare the organic manure once again. So this cyclic process, so each process will be correlated and they actually support each other. And this is also very cost effective. Farmer does not have to spend a lot of money in buying the manure, right? So a farmer does not have to spend lot of money in buying the chemical fertilizers, and also he will actually reduce the pollution, soil pollution, water pollution can be reduced by making use of this one, right? And Ramesh Chandra Dagar, very enthusiastically, he spreads this information and the practice of organic farming, and he created Haryana Kisan Welfare Club. Haryana Kisan Welfare Club was created by Ramesh Chandra Dagar with current membership of 5,000 farmers. Current membership anta helidre textbook print adaga current membership how many 5,000 farmers were there, right? So you can look at this picture which depicts what exactly is integrated farming. So you can see the human and social capital. That means, so you are going to create a capital by selling your agricultural products, right? And you can actually have energy efficiency by implementing the windmills in your land, right? And water usage and protection, the rainwater harvesting, the soil management, so and crop nutrition can be obtained, and crop health and protection by making use of the organic manure given by the animal husbandry. Because of animal husbandry, once again you will get the benefits like milk yielding and landscape and nature conservation. So you can also, yes, this your land also, because of all this, that also supports a lot of biodiversity. You can also nurture the nature, right? And waste management, very importantly, right? So this actually can control the climate change and air quality. So we can actually reduce the climate change and we can maintain the air quality. So all this will require organization and planning, proper planning, right? So this is about integrated farming. So in the next class we will study more about this chapter.